Hey guys, Mix here, and in today's video we're working with the free pit bike, and today officially marks the beginning of this build series, and this build series is going to be awesome. I'm so excited to really just jump straight into it. But as you guys know, my last video of this was getting it running, and this thing runs amazing right now. It won't start now because obviously no gas tank or anything, but I actually have a lot of parts on the way for this bike. I've only got one so far, but the rest of them should be here in just a couple days, and then the really exciting parts should be coming soon. But this video is just like an intro to this build, just getting some stuff done. So today what we're going to be doing to the pit bike is just stuff that needs to get done before all of the upgrades begin to be installed. This pit bike, as you guys know, or maybe some of you guys don't know if this is your first build video, this pit bike I found in the garbage. It was free. This is a 2003 Honda XR70, and it is in really good condition, I guess, for a garbage find. I mean, the frame is pretty solid. There isn't that much rust, maybe just on like the sub cage part of the frame, but that's going to be covered by plastics and the seat and just everything. The main frame is really good. There's like not really any speck of rust on it. Most of it's just dirt, and today we're going to be cleaning this whole bike up. We're probably going to be painting the exhaust. I'm probably not going to spray paint the frame because I don't want it to look all cheesy like that. I'm going to try and keep the original paint that it has on it and just try and clean it up a little bit. We're probably going to clean up the swing arm, the engine. Just everything that's dirty on it right now is going to be cleaned by the end of this video, and it should be looking really mint. So I didn't tell you guys what type of build that I'm going to be doing with this, but a lot of you guys guessed it, and it is time to reveal it. This build is going to be a mini supermoto slash street legal pit bike, or just street legal mini supermoto build. It is going to be awesome. One of the supermoto tires came already. I didn't open it, but the box did rip, and I did have to peek inside, so I am going to show you guys, but I'm not going to do a total unboxing. I'm just going to show you guys what I've seen so far. I'm really hoping that the tires fit, because I mean, it took me a couple weeks to try and find tires that'll fit this, and I think these will do it, because like this is my hand and that's the tire, so yeah. But these rims should clean up pretty nice. I mean, yeah, just rubbing it, look at that, it's already shining up. So this will definitely look really cool once it's done. I am gonna try and get it registered and titled from the DMV to try and see if I could get this street legal and everything. I did order like a license plate, brackets, lights, everything. This is going to be so awesome. Alrighty, so here is the supermoto tire box for the rear tire, and it's pretty big. So I'm just gonna peek you guys inside, and maybe you can see. Probably not much. Okay, there you go. So that is the rear tire. I hope it fits, because I mean, we'll do a little side to side comparison here. So it is pretty close. I mean, there is some leeway in the box and stuff, but I think we should be able to get it to work. Just in case any of you guys were wondering what type of tire that is, it's a Michelin Pilot Sport. It's a pretty nice tire, just based on what I can see so far. But I want to open all the packages at once, just for a cool unboxing, and we just see everything all together at the same time. But we'll move this aside for now, so we could get to working on the XR. So what I want to do first is basically just take off anything that we will need to take off in order to put on the upgrades. Anything that needs to be cleaned up in general. So I'm going to take off the exhaust cover, the front fender, the swing arm, just anything that I see along the way, I'm going to take off, and then we're going to clean. So I know that a lot of you guys probably don't want me to spray paint any of this bike, but I mean, I'm really not spray painting a lot. I mean, I'm using the high temp paint on the exhaust, which is, you know, good stuff. It's obviously going to look better than how it looks right now. What I'm going to use for the swing arm is pretty much an exact match. I'm going to be using some of this stuff, and I used the same paint for the Cat mini bike, and that stuff came out amazing. So that should look really good. I'm going to smoothen everything out before I, paint anything. But before paint, I'm probably just going to take a hose to it, try and just take off any dirt or anything, maybe just scrub it down a little. So with saying that, let's move this thing over to the hose and get going. Alright guys, so the bike is drying, and I came to realize a couple things. That whoever had it last spray painted the front fender. Looks like they did green and then black. Originally it's red, obviously. They also spray painted this side cover, so I'm gonna try and clean that up a little bit, see if I can get that original silver. But I'm gonna let this dry a little bit, maybe just scrub it down, and then we'll continue. So I just came across another thing that I didn't know already, is that I think this frame might have been spray painted black, because I just came across here, and as you guys can see, the little plate that all Hondas have, it says the year and, you know, what type it is. It looks like it's ripped, right? But I was looking at this, and there is black paint covering it. So I do not know. I guess the person, whoever owns it before me, spray painted the whole thing black. I have no idea, but I'm gonna try and just get this whole thing uncovered so we can see what it says. Well, I did the best I could, but it is in fact a 2003, so that is cool. We guessed it right. And now we can see the VIN number, so that's good. But I'm gonna let this sit out and just dry a little bit more, and then we'll start taking parts off. So now that the bike is all dry and looking a little bit better, now we can start taking off the parts. So what I'm going to take off first is the covers and everything, and then take off the whole exhaust itself. It would just be easier to take off the covers before it's completely mounted off the bike. So I'm doing the actual pipe, a high temp, and I don't know whether or not I should do a metallic for the cover or not. I'm not sure if it'll burn off. I mean, it's pretty far distance, so I think it should be fine to do a metallic and not a high temp. It'll definitely look way better with the metallic. But let's start taking these off, and then take off the actual pipe, paint it, and then continue on. So I just put on the first coat of paint. In case any of you guys were wondering, this is what I'm using. I used the same paint for the Baja mini bike build back like a year or two ago, and that paint is still holding up awesome. So I definitely highly recommend this paint if you were to paint something black. But I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, apply the second coat. But while we're doing that, we'll start taking off the actual pipe. So on second thought, I think I am gonna paint the second little guard metallic as well, because I feel like it will just match better instead of just going from like a matte black to metallic. So I am gonna try. If it starts smoking a little bit from burning off from getting too hot, it's not the end of the world. I can just paint it the high temp, not a big deal. So I'm gonna take off this guard quick and then paint it just like the other one, and then we'll take off the actual pipe and paint that the high temp. But these screws for this guard don't want to come out with even the impact screwdriver, so I don't know what we're going to do there. I mean, these screws are in really bad shape. It's even dented in over here, so I mean, I could just paint the whole thing the high temp. I mean, I feel like I do metallic, it will end up burning off, so I think we might as well just do the high temp on second thought. So this time, now we'll just take off the actual pipe and get that painted. I have the pipe all laid out here. I'm just gonna try and smooth it out a little bit with the sanding brick. And this is probably ready for its second coat. Yeah, it's all dry now. But I'm gonna move this aside while I do this so I don't get any overspray or anything on that. And then while that's drying, then we'll do a second coat on that. And then while that's drying, we'll do our second coat on this. So the pipe is looking really sweet right now. When I was sanding it, it actually started to get down to like bare metal. I just can't believe how quickly it got to bare metal. But yeah, this thing is looking really sweet, nice and smooth. So I'm gonna let that dry, do another coat, and then probably flip it over to the other side, make sure that we get everything. And if you guys were wondering what I used as my tripod, well, there you go. So now I'm just applying the second coat to the main cover, and this thing is actually looking really good. I'm glad that I'm painting this. I just flipped the exhaust around. Now I'm just doing the other side. I was able to get most of it while I was on the other side, but you know, as you can see, there is still some spots that I missed. I'll do this side, coat it again, and then just do the whole thing over again one more time. I just got done doing a third coat on that, and then we should be good to put it back onto the bike. I had plans on taking off the swing arm in this video, but on second thought, I'm gonna leave that just for now, because I have something pretty exciting planned in store, and it just wouldn't make sense to take off the swing arm now and paint it, because it could get ruined. But before we put on that nice new Supermoto tire, I want to do something special with this tire. So I'm just going to leave it how it is now, and right before we put on the Supermoto tire, I'll take off the whole swing arm, paint it up nice and shiny, put it back on, and then we'll have the nice new tire on. But I have the exhaust and everything drying behind me. But off camera, I just went up and polished up the forks, so those are looking nice and shiny. But now, I just want to take off the old fender, because I have brand new plastics on the way. So right when we get them, we can just put them on. And I also ordered a whole new bolt kit, just so, because, you know, I don't have any bolts for any of the plastics, so 10 bucks, and I basically have everything plus a whole bunch left over, so it's totally worth it. The front fender is off. It looks so weird while it's off. It actually kind of, like, I don't know, from that angle, you just like, look at that. I don't know, for some reason I think sport bike, like a Street Fighter setup, I don't know. But as you can see, this part of the forks is not that great looking, and I don't really want to paint this, because, you know, you need to take off the whole front forks to get it off. So I'm going to try and sand it up as much as I can, see if it'll shine up a little. Hopefully it does. I just sanded it and didn't really clean up, maybe just some spots like there, and that's about it. I think the front number plate's going to be covering most of that anyway, so it's not a big deal to make that look spotless. I just went over to take a look at this side cover, and when I was washing it, all this paint started chipping off, and I just tried to sand it down, and of course none of it wants to come off anymore, and it doesn't look good like that, obviously, so I might as well just paint it black over the last spray paint or whatever that is. So I'll take off that side cover quick, paint it with that protective enamel, the same paint that I'm using for that side cover, and it should look way better. Side cover is off and the flywheel is exposed, and this flywheel is actually pretty rusty, and somehow it still has really good spark, so I might clean that up before I put the side cover back on. But over here it is, so I'm just gonna sand off and just wash off all that dirt, spray paint it, let it dry, do a couple coats, and then put everything back onto the bike. So the cover is drying, and before it was pretty like rugged and everything, and I don't know if you guys could see, you probably could, it kind of looks worse on camera, but in real life all those little rigged pieces on the side cover kind of make it look cool with the paint on it. So let that dry and then we'll do another coat. But in the meantime, let's start putting back on this exhaust onto the bike and just start reassembling everything. So the exhaust is on and it looks so much better. Just spray painting that just changes the whole bike so much. It looks so much better. Really like how the paint came out. Came out really, really smooth along with the guard. So that is awesome. Right now the second coat for the side cover is drying. Then after that we should be fine to put it on. 2 coats should be enough. In the meantime, I just want to add the spring to the brake lever, because when you brake, it doesn't return. So you gotta kick it up. So hopefully this spring isn't too long, because I could put it on by hand. Alright, so it's on. I mean, as long as it returns, that's all that matters. Alright, it returns, so that's good enough. But sorry guys if this video just seems like maybe not as exciting as I hoped it would be. I mean, spray painting isn't all that fun. But this is all going to lead up for when all the parts come. This was just kind of like an introduction to the whole build series. But once those parts come, oh man, this build is going to be so lit. So this is just about to dry, so now let's put it back onto the bike and finish up. Side cover is on and looks absolutely amazing. That really helped the engine shine up a little bit. That's for sure, that's for sure. But anyway guys, I'm going to be ending the video here. Even though that it didn't seem like we did a lot in this video, we just did a couple of the small things that had to be done before any upgrades were put on, just to make sure that this bike will be looking pretty mint. And yes, there is still things that are going to be get done. The kick lever, the swing arm, just anything. whatever's not looking good right now will be looking good eventually. But this was just the little intro to this build, and I'm so excited to begin it and just really dive into it, and hopefully you guys will like the journey. This end product will be amazing. But anyway guys, we hit 16,000 subscribers. That is crazy. Thank you guys so much. There's gonna be a part in a video coming up soon that's gonna be pretty fun, celebrating 15 and 16,000 subscribers along with 2 million consecutive views. That is awesome. We're at 2.1 million now, so thank you guys so much for the continuing support, and thanks just for watching the videos, you know? Without you guys, I wouldn't have like any of these bikes, and it just means the world. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends about the channel.